As you know, the squad needs to be reduced to bring in funds for the club. So I'm going to go through the first team squad from the nufc.co.uk website, who they've actually put on there as the first team players and the loanee players as well. And we're going to go through to say who I would like to keep and who I would like to sell. If you agree or not, do leave your comments down below. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up and also to hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. But yeah, other than that, my name is Jason and welcome to the Keeping It Toon YouTube channel. Hey everyone, I hope I find you well as can be, what with all this heat going on. Let's get straight into this. Who would I keep and who would I sell out of the current Newcastle United team, first team? I've gone on the NUFC website and I've taken some screenshots of the entire first team squad. So apologies if players are not in their right positions or not. It's just how the club has put the players in those positions. I've got on the loanees as well. One player wasn't actually on the list of players, and I'm not sure about that, but I've gone and got a screenshot of him anyway. So we're going to start off with our goalkeepers, and we're going to begin with these guys. So, beginning with our goalkeepers, as you can see right there, I'm going to get it right eventually. I'll move the logo over this side and everything's over this side. As you can see with the goalkeepers, I have put a red mark or red X on the players that I feel should be leaving the club in order to generate funds so that we can rebuild the team. Now, I have marked Carl Darlow with an X because, bear with me on this, I do like him. I do enjoy watching him when he plays for us. But I feel that through the first half of last season, he was enjoying being the number one keeper whilst Martin Dubravka was out with an injury. And the fact that Martin Dubravka came back into the squad and owned his place again, Carl Darlow is going to want to maybe move away so that he is a guaranteed first team player for another club. He becomes their number one keeper. So that's why I have put an X on Carl Darlow. He might be one in demand. As for Mark Gillespie, I'm in an R in over him, but we haven't really seen a lot from him. He has mainly been a cup keeper, but yeah, I don't think he's a right fit for the club, don't get me wrong, but he could get better. I don't know, but we'll keep him for another season. And obviously it's a no-brainer, we do keep Martin Dubravka. There's no questioning that at all. But Carl Darlow, I would keep them all, but I think Carl Darlow will want to be a first team keeper, and he's not going to get that here, what with Martin Dubravka being our main keeper at the club. So that's my thoughts on those three keepers, and we move on to our next keeper. There is a fourth keeper, and he is our on loan keeper. That is Freddie Woodman, and as you can see, I have put an X on Freddie Woodman as well, because there is a lot of talk about Swansea wanting to have him permanently. And to be honest, I don't really see him becoming a key member of the team. I don't see him getting much game time. I don't really see him getting any game time, to be honest. So it could be a good idea to cash in on him and let him go to Swansea and settle there permanently, maybe make his way to the Premier League again as a leading keeper. I know we tend to do things like that. Look what happened to Fraser Forster, for an example. But yeah, Freddie Woodman would be one to cash in on as well. That is all my goalkeepers, and now we're going to move on to our defenders. And here they are. And as you can see, there are no red marks on any of these three. Kieran Clark, Paul Dummett and Federico Fernandez, I would keep all of them. I believe Federico Fernandez is haggling a deal with maybe a year extension. Whether there's new news on that, I don't know. But I would really like to see Fernandez sign a new deal and stay on with us. Paul Dummett, he has been a fantastic servant for the club. He's been with us for such a long time. And he deserves to stay with us. He really does. He always puts in 110% effort. Some do doubt him, but I and a lot of others do rate him very highly. And Kieran Clark, he is quite a very good player. I would quite happily keep him. Age of Clark and Fernandez, you can start to think, well, maybe they should move on, get another good run in another side maybe, but I think they can still do a job for us, and I would definitely keep a hold of them both because they do tend to show up when we really need them. And yeah, those two would definitely be keepers. And if we move on to our next set of defenders, and as you can see right there, there are two X's in this group. I was hesitating whether to put all three X's in there, but I feel Jamal Lewis does deserve another chance. Last season wasn't his best, but I think we can all agree on that. Given the right training, given the right management, is what we really need. Bringing in another left back to help him would be a good thing to do. But yeah, I think Jamal Lewis could do with another season, or in with us, and see how it pans out. Emil Kraft, I don't think none of us really like him that much. He's terrible, to be honest. I think he's been one of our worst buys, and I would move him on. I would sell him, get some money back. If there was a choice to have either Kraft or Yedlin, I would have kept Yedlin, to be honest. But sell Kraft and Captain Lascelles. You might be thinking I'm mad, and you're right, I am mad. But in terms of this, I don't think Jamal's been the same as what he used to be. He's not really captain material anymore. He's not as vocal, not as what's the word I'm looking for? He's not as vocal as what he used to be before he was given the armband. He's I don't know, there's something about Lascelles that he doesn't seem the same person anymore. I feel it does deserve time I feel that it is now time that he maybe moved on and thought about a future somewhere else. I don't see him lasting much longer at Newcastle, so it could be a good chance to maybe cash in on him. I mean, we've got other potential players that could be a better captain or are captain material and should be given the armband for next season. But I don't know, he's a great player. He's got the physique. He's got a good head on him when he heads the ball. He has scored a few goals for us, but he's not being a captain as much anymore. I mean, before, I think it was before, just when Rafa took over, and then in Rafa's full season, you could see Jamal barking orders left, right, and centre. He was demanding this, he was demanding that, he was threatening to give Mo Diame a good hiding just to get a performance out of him, and he got a performance out of him. And I think since then he's really deteriorated. He's not been the captain that we used to have. So I think it's time that the captain's armband was taken from him, and also his performances have not been as great as back then. Whether it's the way he's being trained now or not, if it is, then obviously something definitely needs to change, and change fast. But I feel Lascelles isn't the same player as he was, so I would cash in on him. And obviously we were linked with Christophe Ager, or Ager, or Ager. I'm going to go with Christopher Ager. We're linked with him, so there's a good replacement right there. I'm pretty sure he's a centre back. I'm going to go with centre back. So an Ager and Fernandez back two would be pretty decent. Or Clark, or in my next group we'll show you the next set of defenders. There's still a couple more defenders to go. There's about 3 more. So Kraft, yes, go. Lascelles, yes, go. Jamal Lewis, I would give another season, but I wouldn't have him as a regular starter. I would hope to bring in another left back that would then become our main starter, so that Jamal Lewis can learn from them and improve in himself. But I would definitely give him another season after taking a long think about it. And now we're going to our next lot of defenders. Javi Manquillo and Fabian Schär. I'd keep them both. I've not been a huge fan of Javi Manquillo when he first signed, obviously with his Sunderland links. He was quite poor to begin with as well, but over the past few seasons that he's been with us, he's been constantly getting better and better and better. He is, dare I say, one of our best right backs that we've had. Well, not had, that's kind of a bit too far, but he's definitely the best right back that we currently have, would be a better way of saying it. So I would keep a hold of Javi Manquillo, and obviously Fabian Schär, he's a favourite to all the fans. I would definitely keep a hold of him. He's a guy that could probably play at a higher level club, but I would really like to keep a hold of him. So those two are definitely keepers for me. And finally, we move on to our final defender before moving on to our midfielders, and it is this guy who is currently on loan, and that player obviously being Florian Lejeune. I would keep him. I think I said in my end of season video that he should never have left on loan. He should have stayed in the club. And I do see him as one of our best centre backs. So Florian Lejeune, when he returns from his loan spell, I would keep him in the team. I wouldn't sell him on. I wouldn't loan him out again. I would keep him and use him as a more first team regular player for us next season. Yes, he got that. He's could be injury prone, but he's had an okay season, I believe. But yes, Lejeune I would definitely keep. Do you agree with my defenders list and my goalkeepers list? Would you choose differently? Leave your comments down below, guys. It'd be interesting to see. So now we're going to move on to our midfielders, and we're going to begin with these 3. ASM keep. Henri Sauvé has been released as far as I know, so there's no point talking about him. And also John Joe Shelby sell. It's time John Joe Shelby moved on. We're all getting fed up with his Hollywood passes. That 9 out of 10 or 9.8 out of 10, 9.9 out of 10 seem to end up in a failed pass. It's getting old now. It needs to stop, and we can do much better. John Joe Shelby needs to be moved on. Bring in some funds now for him. ASM is one that we have to keep a hold of no matter what. He has to stay, and that's pretty much it for those three. Omri Surveyor's nothing to say about him. I wanted him to be given a chance, but he really wasn't given that chance. So it's best that he does finally move on. Don't even think about offering him another contract if he's not going to get any game time at all. But apparently he has been released, so it's glad to get him off the books. So yeah, that's those three. On to our next three. Sean Longstaff, Jacob Murphy, and Matt Ritchie. Now, as you can see, there is an X on Sean Longstaff. I feel it could be time to shift him on. He's not really been up to scratch, not been as good as what he was when he broke into the first team, which is a shame really. So I would cash in on him, bring in some funds again. Jacob Murphy, there has been news today that he is been offered a new 3-year contract, I think it was. So that is good, that is positive. I have said that in my players out of contracts video that I would like Jacob Murphy to sign a new deal. He has really impressed this season for me, definitely. And Matt Ritchie I would keep a hold of, even though that it has emerged that he wants to return to Bournemouth. How true that is, I don't know, but I would like Matt Ritchie to stay with us. And also I feel Matt Ritchie would be a great candidate to be our captain for the next season as well. So Matt Ritchie and Jacob Murphy is a definite keeper, but Sean Longstaff could possibly be one that I would definitely have to cash in on. And on to our next set of midfielders. I'm trying to make this video as short as I can. I can't be doing another 40-minute video again, so I'm going to try and whiz through these ones. So yes, our next group of midfielders are Isaac Hayden, Jeff Hendrick, and Matty Longstaff. And again, as you can see, the X's appear on Hendrick and Longstaff again, so I am cashing in on both Longstaff brothers. Isaac Hayden is a no-brainer for me. I would keep him no matter what. Jeff Hendrick has been an awful signing, even though he was for free. We should never have brought him in. He's been terrible. He is just like a ghost. Whenever he's on the field, you never see him or hardly hear his name called. He's just awful. I don't know why we brought him in, and I don't know why he's here. I really don't know why he's here. I would definitely cash in on him, get some money for him. I don't care how much, just get him gone. And Matty, I feel really sorry for him. This is my reason why I would let Sean go, because the way Matty has been treated, and you could say forced to sign a new deal or lied to in order to get a new deal out of him, was really disrespectful to the player. All he wants to do is play, and he barely featured at all last season, and I wouldn't blame him if he went, and quite frankly that is why I have put him up as a player to be sold. And Sean's obviously not going to like the fact about that, so Sean would probably want to move on as well. That is my reason for putting Sean on there as well. I would have maybe kept hold of Sean, but obviously his performances have not been as good as what they were. We can put that down to injury maybe, but let's say performances. But also he will be quite annoyed about Matty maybe, but yeah, Matty is definitely going to be off. There's no, he ain't going to want to stay. As much as he loves the club, he ain't going to stay. He's going to want to go. He's had enough of Steve Bruce lying and whatever the excuses are. We all wanted him to play. We all think that he's broken through to the first team with a huge bang, but he's just a forgotten person. He's barely featured at all this season, last season. So yeah, moving on. Hendrick gone, Matty gone. Keep Isaac Hayden, and on to our next lot of midfielders. We got a lot of midfielders. So next lot are this lot: Elliot Anderson, Christian Atsu, and Ryan Fraser. Now, Elliot Anderson, I thought was a young kid that burst onto the scene. He had a very good game against Arsenal. I believe it was in the Cup, in the FA Cup match. I'm pretty sure it was the FA Cup match, and he looked a player that we need to see a lot more. And he was then forgotten about. We hardly saw him. He came on for like 3 minutes against Arsenal again in the league. Useless amount of time. Unable to do anything. But I would like to see Elliot Anderson given a more regular role, more rotational maybe. I'd definitely like to see more of him. So he was definitely a keeper. Christian Atsu, we all know about him. He's obviously moved on. He has been released of his contract. And obviously, as you can see, right there, I think. Let's go there. I hope I'm pointing to the right one. Ryan Fraser. Yeah, I put an X on him. Why? We get all this that he's not match fit. He's injured, or he's just not ready. He's unfit, and all this crap that keeps going around. He then goes and plays for Scotland, and he's a world beater. He's an absolute different type of player. He comes back to us and he's still not fit. He's still not ready. He's got an injury. Goes back to Scotland and he's just the greatest player you've ever seen. So I'm quite pissed off with the way he's treating the club. And it's Fraser that makes me swear for the first time in this video. But yes, I'm really pissed off with Ryan Fraser, the way he's treating the club, as I've already said. He's just using us as a paycheck. So we got him for free. Sell him on. We can probably get a fair bit of money for him, and that can help in actually bringing someone in who's actually gonna play and do well for the club. I've not been impressed with Ryan Fraser at all. He has gone down as my worst player of the season in my video where I said who my best and worst players were. So yeah, do you agree with that? Let me know about that in the comments. But Ryan Fraser is definitely one that I'll get rid of. If he stays, then he has got a lot to make up for. But if he does the exact same thing, then I've just been proved right. So I'd move him on. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. And I believe that is our last of our midfielders. But I am going to give one little mention right here. Joe, if you're watching, you need to come back, because you are loved by all the fans and we could really do with building a team around you. You are amazing. We all love you. Come back to the tune. Please, please, please. Tell Arsenal you want to come back to us. And come back to us permanently. You are amazing. And that shirt, that black and white shirt right there, suits you perfectly. And just come back to us. And finally, we are moving on to our strikers. We have Miguel Almiron, Joe Linton, and Andy Carroll in this group. As you can see, there are two X's right there. Andy Carroll, do not, for the love of God, do not sign a new deal. We don't want you. I don't want you. You were great back in the day, but one goal in 2 games. 2 seasons. One goal in 2 seasons. You've barely played. It's not worth it. Don't sign a new deal. Go somewhere else where you're going to get a good year or maybe 2 years worth of regular first team football. Drop down the league. Go out with a bang, because you're not going to get any games for us. Do not sign a new deal. Miguel Almiron, we have to keep him. He is definitely one that I will keep. And Joe Linton, I did do a shock video previously saying that Joe Linton has improved a lot this season last season than the season before. But I still don't think he's Premier League material. I don't see him as a key player for us, and I definitely don't see that number 9 on the back of his shirt. Doesn't deserve to be there for a start. There's all the reports saying that. I see a paper report yesterday, I think it was, saying that Joe Linton is going to be a key figure and a complete beast of a player next season. Please don't. Please don't. I really hope not. Cash in on him. West Ham spent so much money on Sebastian Haller, and they cut their losses. They got a small amount for him, if you can say, considering what they spent on him, and they got rid of it. And look how the season that they've had. They've had an amazing season. So just cut our losses. Just get what we can for Joe Linton and put it towards another striker, or put it towards getting Joe Willock back. You know, it's a no-brainer really. I don't think Joe Linton is right for us. I feel we can cash in on him, but just cut the losses and sell him for what we can get. There's no way he is worth 40 mil. There's no way we're going to get 40 mil. Just get rid. And yeah, Miggy we'll definitely keep. On to our next group of strikers. Dwight Gale and Callum Wilson is the next 2, and we have one more to go after that. Dwight Gale is an X, as you can see, and Callum Wilson is a no-brainer. We've definitely got to keep him. He's had despite injury, he's had a fantastic season, getting over into double figures with goals. So we'll definitely keep hold of him. We just need another goal scorer that can score goals in the Premier League to partner him up front. As with Dwight Gale, I heard that he's been offered a new deal, but it could be a deal that makes him sign so that we can sell in order to get money. I think that is disrespectful. So I would let his contract run out and just let him go for free. At least we're going to get all those wages that we can put towards another player's wages. So let Dwight Gale go. Keep Callum Wilson. That's a no-brainer for me. So yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say about those 2. And finally, we're going to move on to our final player, another loanee or on loan player that has not really had the best of times with us at the moment, and that is Yoshinori Muto. What more can we say? He's been brought in. He's hardly had a chance. He played a few games and then got forgotten about. He comes back, plays another couple of games and gets forgotten about. He's not really had the best of chances at Newcastle, and I really do feel for him. I would really like to see a lot more of him, but I feel we are not going to see any of him. So I believe it would be best to move him on and get some more funds into the club in order to make a rebuild. So Yoshinori Muto would get the X there, basically because he won't get no time playing for us as a regular, which is really sad. I think we all wanted to see a lot more of him. But that is all my players that I would sell and keep. Do you agree with any of those players, guys? And finally, we move on to Steve Bruce. I'm going to have to give the manager a mention. Do we keep or do we get rid? Personally, I would get rid, so I would slap a huge X on him right there. Yeah, Bruce out would still be my decision. We can do better. Let me know what you guys think. And that's going to be it for this video. Made it shorter than my other ones, hopefully, and I really hope you enjoyed what you've seen. Do you agree with itchy nose? Do you agree with the players I want to get rid of and the players I want to keep? Do you agree with Steve Bruce out, or are you Steve Bruce in? By all means, leave your comments down below. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on it all. As always, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new around here. It really helps and I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you in the next video when I do the next video. I don't really know what to do next. So yeah, my name's been Jason. You've been watching the Keeping It Toon YouTube channel, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Take care. See you later, guys.